Can you see it?
I can.
Because the last time people were saying it, I can't see it.
No, they could see it. There wasn't no music.
Oh.
There's music this time.
Well, I'm doing the same thing I did last time, people. Let's just blame Google.
Only right this time.
Oh, my word.
Yay! I love it when things kind of work.
When it kind of works, this bot, can I just tell you, this is about the only thing that has worked today.
Do you know, this might cheer you up, I saw the most exciting thing ever this week.
I know what you're going to say.
Guess what it is?
Cronuts at Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts is going to start selling cronuts, which means that we can get them locally. Oh, I just can't wait. They come out on Monday, and I'm going to be, I think I want to do like the crazy person, like people do for the iPhone and stuff like that. I want to like pitch a tent on Sunday night and wait outside the door for them to start selling the cronuts. Would that not be nuts? Then I would probably be on the news, the crazy girl who's waiting outside Dunkin' Donuts, camping out. It's going to be cold here Sunday night, waiting for the cronuts, but I think I might do it. That would be hilarious.
I think that would be hilarious. And can I just notice that, first of all, everyone needs to know that Rhonda and I have not spoken today until this very moment.
Oh, we have the same colors on.
And we have the same colors on. We both got the memo.
It's that mind thing. We're like connected.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It has been an absolutely crazy whatever. You know that I went out to dinner last night.
Right.
It was a spontaneous dinner.
Uh-huh.
And it's sort of like completely derailed. Just like, I mean, really, after the workday, after everything, it derailed everything. I got not a wink of sleep last night.
Oh.
I'm going to San Francisco, so we'll be doing Random Hangout. I will be in San Francisco next week.
So you're going to be in San Francisco next week while we're doing the Hangout?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And it will not be on Wednesday. It will be a different day, everyone. So, like, you got to watch it. It will not. It will be either Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday.
Yeah, but we don't know yet. It depends. I may be camping outside the Dunkin' Donuts when we do it. Who knows?
Exactly. And what's really great, Rhonda, is I'm going to be on Pacific time, so
right.
It'll be your favorite time of day.
Yes, it will. That's great because my body is on West Coast time.
Yeah, clearly. And so that'll be really interesting. I will be up crazy early, and maybe I'll try to find a Dunkin' Donuts. If anybody is watching this that is from a West Coast Pacific person, I'm going to San Francisco, and I'm doing something really wild. I am going to take 3 days for myself, and since I go to I've been to San Francisco quite a few times. I really want to do something daring, and I'm going to do Airbnb, I think. I've been messing around with it, but I just can't seem to get it together. But I really want to try it.
So tell me this. I've heard the Airbnb. So what's the thing with Airbnb? I've heard people say that, and I'm not sure what's the big thing about this Airbnb.
Well, maybe what we're going to talk about is some like really great travel tips or something, because I'll tell you that I heard about Airbnb just like you. I heard people talk about it.
Right.
And, a few years ago when I was in New York City, a friend of mine was coming to visit from California, and she was coming to this event in New York. And instead of getting a hotel room, which you guys know is like $300 and some a night,
right.
It's like if you want your own bathroom, which I want my own bathroom. So, like in your room.
Oh, so there is an option where you have to share a bathroom then?
There are options where you have to share a bathroom, right? So anyway, my friend Susan said, "Hey, I got a room I got a little apartment in Chelsea. It was probably half the price, I think. She was there for like a whole week or something. But bottom line is, you can get accommodations for at least, I mean, of course you can pay whatever you want to pay, right? I mean,
Right.
but I'm looking for like a loft or a studio or a guest house or something like that. So let me explain what Airbnb is.
Okay.
Airbnb is individual homeowners, right, will actually rent out their space. Some people.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like, oh, have you heard of couch surfing? I've thought about doing that before.
Correct. It's exactly like that. And there's different kinds. You can rent an entire house. There was actually even a houseboat that I could get, like in Sausalito. You can get like a room in somebody's house. So, you come into their room, and then you have the public spaces are the hosts. So you have that sort of bed and breakfast type feeling.
Right.
Or you can, like my friend and I did in New York City, there are people that own apartments that maybe they're traveling, or maybe they're gone, or maybe they moved and they don't want to get rid of their apartment. If you have a really great apartment in New York, maybe it's rent controlled or something like that, you don't want to get rid of it. You
Right.
put it up there, and there's been some legal conversation about whether they're going to tax these things or not. The hoteliers are really mad because there is a
have you done it before? Have you stayed in one of these places?
I have stayed in one of these places, but I've never actually made reservations. I tried making a reservation today, and I was not successful.
Now, how was your stay when you stayed before? Was it good?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I mean, when it's like staying at somebody's house, right?
Right.
So,
Were they home, or did you have the place to yourself?
no, you have the place to yourself. Of course, you do have the option of being like in a B&B environment where they are home, but you don't have to do it that way. I actually want to be by myself.
Yeah, me too, because that would be kind of awkward. You don't know these people, and what if they're like really weird and you don't really want to socialize with them? That's what I thought about the couch surfing, because the couch surfing, people will actually let you stay for free, and you can visit different places or whatever. It's a good way to meet people. But most of the time when you're couch surfing, the people are home.
Right.
And you may be sleeping on their couch or a cot or a pull out. Some people have an extra room, but you never know what you might be sleeping on, but you are staying for free.
Yes.
But you're staying with strangers too. So, I mean, there's kind of a danger factor there too, especially a woman traveling alone. So this Airbnb, is there any security in place or anything with it?
Well, the way they have it is, what I think is interesting is when I submitted my request, so it's not like you reserve the room and you get it. You submit a request, and the owner gets to accept you or reject you, and you have to either upload a picture of your driver's license, which I chose not to do. Instead, I used my social profiles, and you have to answer some personal questions that they pull from who knows what database. It's actually kind of creepy.
Right.
But they do want to know that you are who you are. So I think that there's more of a focus on the security of the owner of the property than there is on the visitor.
Yeah, that's what you hear about these Craigslist killers and, all this crazy stuff, and I don't want to hear about the Airbnb killer in San Francisco next week, and I got to worry about my dear friend.
So, anyways, it's really, really very interesting, and you'll find out next week where I'm staying. I'll either be at a hotel or I'll be in one of these little private spaces. But I'm really trying to.
It'll be fun while you're out of town. I'm gonna have to send you out to be woman on the streets.
I could be woman on the street, and that's why we're not. I was gonna be woman on the street today, you guys, but. Life happened, and I ended up creating the hangout, which means I have to be here.
Exactly. So we might send her out on the street. So you guys think of some funny random things we can get her to ask people while she's out on the street.
Yeah, depending on what neighborhood I'm in. So.
No, the sketchier the better.
Here is actually where I'm supposed to be at this Forbes event. It's actually right next to a neighborhood they actually call Tenderloin, which I think is really interesting, like named after meat.
Yeah.
And
okay. So I'm thinking about this Airbnb. I think I might send my husband there to start sleeping at someone else's house, because last night or this morning I woke up and my knee was hurting so bad. And so I went to look at it, and there's like a huge bruise on the top of my knee. I think this man kneed me in the knee while we were sleeping last night, so he's beating me up. So I'm not feeling very loved.
I don't think he meant to do that.
I'm sure he didn't, but yeah, I woke up with a bruise. I'm like, hey, dude, what gives? You beat me in my sleep last night.
Well, that's an interesting question. So, like, what do you need to? How is it that you know you're loved?
Well, for one, you don't beat me up in my sleep and I wake up bruised, so that's number one. But no, like, I told you before that, I like the Five Love Languages book,
Yeah.
and I think that you can use those five love languages, which is finding out what other people need to be loved, whether it's touch or buying things for them, doing things for them. I can't remember all five, but you can base that and find out. And for me, mine is doing things for me, like doing special things for me. Just like when I came to stay at your house and you had grits and bacon there for me. That made me feel very loved and special because you did something for me. It didn't have to be anything expensive. I mean, it was grits and bacon. It was probably like $5, but it made me feel really special. One, that you took notice of what I really like and wanted to make sure I felt at home when I was at your house and all of that good stuff. So that stuff makes me feel loved. And that's what I usually tend to do for other people. I will do stuff for them. And just like I went and got you the fresh cronut when we were in Vegas at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not a morning person, so that was a special thing.
Very lovely. I think
but that might not be your love language. I'm sure you appreciated it, but you got to watch that too, because I know, like, me and my husband did a lot of like counseling and stuff before we got married because we had been married before and we didn't want to do this again. And so that was one of the things. You have to, just because that's your love language doesn't mean it's the other person's. And so if you're doing those things, they may not be feeling the love from that.
What's your husband's love language?
His is actually the physical touch.
So is mine.
I think most men's are. They want to be touched and felt up, and even the sexual stuff is like, that's part of their love language. It's like, we think they're horn dogs and all that, but that's actually that physical interaction and that physical touch is just what makes them feel loved. And a lot of guys, that's their love language. Not every guy, but a lot of guys it is.
Now, you know what? Because I heard something really amazing in New York last week at this conference. I met this guy. His name is Tony, and he is like a love coach.
Uh-oh.
One of the things that he said, so we got to talking, and he just said something, and he just kind of said it, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You need to stop right here. He said, we were talking about something, and he goes, how long you've been married? And I said, I'm pushing 22 years. And he goes, then you are definitely doing it. And I'm like, what am I doing? He says, you are listening the greatness out of him. So he's like, a lot of things what guys really, really want is to have the greatness listened out of them. I thought that was really interesting.
Yes, it is. And I think that's important because we don't always do that. I know for me, sometimes I tend to nitpick things that my husband does. Like the other week, he made spaghetti because I was late on a call. And then when I went to eat it, it tasted like he poured half a thing of pepper in it. And so I asked him, how much pepper did you put in this? And he says, you don't appreciate that I cooked dinner and all this. And I did. But, yeah, you have to watch that because that is what makes a relationship last, is trying to bring that greatness out of one another.
I know.
And so not get into that mode where it's like, they say, we had a guidance counseling thing, we got married, and this is so true, too. and they said, okay, right now, you're fresh and you're still in that newlywed phase. Write down the 10 things that you really love about your boyfriend and your girlfriend right now, and then put that away. And on your 10-year anniversary, pull that out, and all 10 of those things are going to be the things that annoy the crap out of you now.
Have you done
it?
this?
Is so true, because my husband is like OCD, and at first I thought it was cute, and I thought, oh, well, this is nice because, he likes to keep everything tidy, and I don't like to clean, so he can have at it. He drives me nuts with it now, and so I can see all these little things that I really loved about him, and like he really loved like my spontaneity, and that I was spontaneous and all of that. Now it drives him nuts because he's like, he needs a plan, and he's like, I don't want to just come home and you're like remodeling the house and or changing this or changing that, and you didn't let me know. So that drives him nuts about me now.
So I have questions. What do you think? Should we try to crank Hangout Tony and talk a little bit more?
Yeah. Let's do that. I want to hear what his business love is all about. We talked about some business boobs and some business legs before. Now let's talk about some business love.
Let's talk about business love.
And I love my clients. I love the clients that I have. And I really do like that. Like, I've come and stayed at your house. I have another client. I went and stayed at her house, and I have a relationship with my clients.
I know. And, I think that what you said, though, is the very thing you love about them ultimately ends up driving you crazy.
Yes.
I think there's some truth to that.
I think it's very true.
What's that?
I think it's very true. It is. If you think back when, you and your husband first met, there was probably all these things that you really loved about him. And probably those same things now are the things that drive you insane that he does.
Right. So I hope he's able to get in here. I sent him an email with the link.
Okay, maybe he will.
I hope he can come.
Crank Hangout call time.
Crank Hangout call time.
Hangout time. Crank Hangout time.
Tony Veer. I sent you a link.
While we're waiting, we have Kate who says that she loves Airbnb. Woman on the street could be exciting fun. Oh, I like that hashtag. And I love a good tenderloin sandwich. Yes, I'm from the South, so I definitely love a tenderloin.
I do too. I actually have some tenderloin in my fridge right now. That could be a sandwich. Let's see.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Where is he?
And then Sheila stopped by to say hello. She's going to watch the replay. She's got a doctor's appointment. Hello, Sheila, when you watch the replay. I'm glad you're going to watch the replay. Sorry you couldn't be here live.
I know. I think it's just been one of those days.
It has. I've had a busy morning, too. I wasn't sure if I was going to be here either.
I know. Honestly.
I'm the other half of this show, so I figured I might ought to show up.
Yeah, right? Because it's really not fun. It's not fun to do.
You need to tell Tony, the love guy, that he needs to show us some love and show up.
I'm trying.
Come in here. Yeah, I think using the love languages and getting to know.
What are some of the other love languages? We know that there's touch. We know that there's service. We know that there's another one, doing words like talking or something.
Yeah, like talking, just sitting down talking, like how was your day, or asking, how was your day, or just talking, or like some people, especially women, just need to vent and get stuff out like that happened, and right. So they just want someone to listen to them. So for someone to be able to listen to them is their love language. And you can use this and kind of find out what your client's love language is by asking them a few questions and, saying, just, you don't have to let them know that's what you're doing, but, just asking them, simple questions or whatever. And even the touch love language you can actually do virtually. you can do it through word pictures and all of that. So you could say, you know how it feels when you get a warm blanket out of the dryer and you wrap it around you, and you know you're just kind of creating that touch feeling with words. Yeah, so you can definitely do that. I'm actually thinking about developing a program to teach people how to do that with the love languages with their clients. And
look at this.
like maybe a few questions that you can ask your client that they wouldn't know. That's what you're trying to figure out.
So I want to introduce you to my friend Jennifer. There's Jennifer. Jennifer actually runs a huge association of embroidery businesses.
Awesome.
But this is her first time to Google Hangout, but she's got a question, how do you figure out their love language? And just kind of started talking about that.
Yeah, there's a book, and it's called The 5 Love Languages.
I'll have
And
to put a link up
you
there.
can look it up online. But with a 17-year-old, that's kind of tricky. Believe me, I know. I have a daughter who's 19, and we went through that 17-year-old phase, and she was trying to kind of cross over into adulthood and was being a little rebellious and standoffish, wanted to do things on her own, kept mentioning how she was going to be turning 18 and she should be able to do this and she should be able to do that, and we had a little power struggle there for a little while. And now that she's out on her own, things have kind of come around. But yeah, pick up that book, The 5 Love Languages. And you can
I just put a link, and here they are. I'm going to review them right now. One is words of affirmation. We just finished talking about that.
Right.
Acts of service, we talked about that. Receiving gifts.
Right, yes.
Of course, a good one. Oh, here's a really great one I think that kids really love, and that's quality time. I think that my husband has this one too. Like, time is really important to him. So like when he comes home from work, he wants my attention on him, quite frankly.
Right. See, my husband's the opposite. When my husband comes home from work, he wants downtime. He wants, because he's more of a loner and he's been around people at work all day. So when he comes home, he wants to be able to like go in the bedroom, turn on the TV and watch TV for a little while. Then after he's watched TV for about an hour, then he wants to come in and have a conversation with me or whatever. But he needs that downtime first, and then he'll want to talk and all that. So I usually give him that space. I don't throw stuff on him as soon as he walks in the door. You know, I'm not like, oh my gosh, you won't believe what the kids did, and you know this happened and that. I don't do that. I let him defuse for an hour, and then I tell him all the stuff.
Right. Exactly. So, I think I lost Tony. I'm very sorry. I have no idea where he's at. So
maybe we'll have to have him on for our adults only show and really dive into some love stuff. Then we may have to plan that for our adults only and have him on.
Because, we'll have to plan. Hey, and there's of course the physical touch love language, right? And you've already talked a lot about that. So. And we've already talked about how I think, and I have gotten laughed at on this, but I was asked to speak a while ago on personalized customer service, and one of the things I said up there was that love, when you are in a love relationship with someone, that is actually the most, it speaks to loyalty, and it's the ultimate form of personalization, right? Because you care about what this person likes. We have, all the things that we've talked about, right? And so, that said, one of the things that seems logical to me is that, you would treat your customers with love and really think about what it was that was important to them instead of just thinking about marketing and selling and pushing something, really being in a love kind of a relationship and then asking yourself that question, how could I show them love and caring? And so these 5 love languages are a really easy way to do that.
Yeah, it is. And there are like quizzes and things like that about the love languages, so you can kind of get like some probing questions you can answer that's not obvious, that they wouldn't know that that's what you're trying to do. And two, if you think about it, who is it? Maya Angelou, I believe, that said people never forget people may forget the things you did, but they never forget the way you made them feel. And so if they feel loved by you and they feel welcomed and feel like you really care, even in business. I mean, me and my husband was talking about this last night. I was at, you would never guess where I was at last night.
Where were you?
Starbucks.
Oh.
So I'm at Starbucks, and we're talking about how we went into the Starbucks. It was close to closing time, and we ordered our stuff. And there's this one guy there that will make the Frappuccino. My husband gets a custom Frappuccino that's called the Bomb, and it's got all this stuff in it. And the one guy really knows how to make this. So, you know, he was there. He greets us. He knows who we are. All of that. We feel really welcome when we come in there. So we don't mind spending $5 on a Frappuccino because it's the way they make us feel when we're there. Then we're getting ready to leave. Well, my husband's Bomb, another guy made it instead of the guy that usually does, and he forgot to put the double shot in it. And so my husband's like, oh, well, that's okay. Don't worry about it. He's like, no, I'm going to make sure you're happy with your drink. So my husband, we had just got through eating, too, and my husband was telling me, oh, I don't know if I can handle Starbucks. So we go in, and my husband ends up with 2 big Frappuccinos, and I'm like, how are you going to finish that? Then the guy says, hey, let me give you a free pastry, too, because I messed up your Frappuccino. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, I'm going to have to roll my husband out of here. So he gives him the little cake, too. But this Starbucks, and we have several around here, and I've been to all of them. This one Starbucks has the nicest people who make us feel the most welcome. They act like they've just been waiting all day for us to come, and they're so happy to see us when we come in, and that's a way they make us feel. So I keep going to that same Starbucks. I will pay $5 for the coffee, and I will tip them as well because they go above and beyond to make us happy, to make us feel welcome. Because, you know, you can go to a lot of places nowadays, and you walk in there in, you know, a restaurant or wherever, and you order, and have you ever felt like these people are like, they act like you're inconveniencing them by being there?
Yep.
And I can't stand that.
Right. And you know what's
it makes you feel bad. You're like, oh, I'm sorry I had to order my food. I mean, really, why are you there?
Well, you know what's really great about this conversation is that I'm starting to notice, you know, we had this conversation about hotels, right?
Right.
And one of the things that's really, really popular in certain cities, San Francisco is one of them, and New York is one of them. I think like Boston and D.C., and if you guys know of any others, you know, shout them out. But there's this new thing, not just with Airbnb, but the influx of what they're calling boutique hotels. So they're more individualized and unique. So it's not as perfect, but it's what you're talking about that's really different. Like I stayed at one in New York City, and what I really love is, so I'm waiting for my ride to go take me to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting, but while I'm waiting, I notice something. Somebody calls down and says, hey, I don't have an ironing board. Like 2 seconds later, the woman's like, you know, hey, Mr. She says, Mr. So-and-so in room such and such needs an ironing board, right? So the guy immediately runs out. He's up to the elevator, and she goes, remember, it's Mr. So-and-so in room such and such. Like as if like use his name in a sentence, right?
Right.
And so the guy goes up, and he comes back down, and probably like 2 seconds, you know, 5 minutes later, if that, she calls back up, and she says, hi, Mr. So-and-so, this is whatever her name was from the front desk. I'm just calling to make sure that you got your ironing board.
Yeah.
It's like little things like that. Or you walk in, they're like, oh, or they'll have something for you in the room. I think Kimptons will do that sometimes. They'll have something for you in your room. They'll ask you, like, what newspapers you like or whatever, and they will have those papers in your room.
Right, like, exactly. It's really, it is. It's how you make people feel. If you're making your customers and your clients feel love, then they're going to stay with you forever. It's just kind of like mine in your relationship. There's sometimes, I'm working my butt off. I'm not perfect. I might forget something. And I'm probably, you could go hire someone else. You could say, screw you, you messed my stuff up. But we have a relationship. So it's not like, if I do make a mistake or whatever, I'm going to make it right. I'm going to do whatever I can to, make things good, just like the Starbucks thing. He forgot the double shot. We paid for it, but it was okay. It wasn't a big deal. We weren't going to get upset, but he wanted to make it right. And that's the thing. And that's when you work with people like that. Even if they do make a mistake or, forget something, like I forgot to schedule your affiliate emails the other week, and you forgot them too. But it was my job to remember them. You were like, okay, you're fired. You knew I was going to make it right and get it done. I made a mistake. And so, but we have a relationship together. You know that I really care, that I wouldn't do it on purpose, and I do like to try to go above and beyond to help you. So, and I mean, I feel that way too with people that work for me. They may not do things. I have an assistant, and sometimes she doesn't do things perfectly, but this girl will, if I ask her to do something, she will make sure it's done. If she's got to stay up till midnight, she will get it done. And she's somebody I know I can depend on. She really cares about my business and really makes me feel like that she's going to go above and beyond to make me happy. And if she did mess something up, she's going to make it right. And so I keep her. I don't get rid of her. I just know, I mean, there may be some areas she's just not that great in. And like you said, we have people operate in their genius. So if I find that there's an area she's not that great in, then I'll give someone else those types of tasks. Right. But I'm not going to get rid of that relationship because of the way that she makes me feel, and I know that she really cares about my business, and I want people working in my business that really care about my business and care about, making my clients happy and doing a good job, and will make things right if they do mess up.
Well, and you bring up a really important point, because that is a very, very valid business strategy, and they're very, most people talk about taking care of your customers and focusing on your customers, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But there's this whole other philosophy, and I think Southwest Airlines is probably one of the better companies known for that. Maybe even Google does this, although I'm not sure. But this idea of focusing on your employees and making sure that your employees feel loved and heard and understood, so that what is it called? That gets them engaged with your business and caring, and
right. So they feel like they have ownership in it.
Correct.
So you don't want to, you want to treat them like a partner in your business, because they are. They are a partner in your business. It's just like when I talk to my assistant, I will tell her, hey, I just signed on a new client for us. And I make her feel a part of that. And, it's not like, oh, I have a new client and you're just going to work and get it done. No, we have a new client, and, this is what they're doing. And I really wanted to feel ownership in my business, because I know if she feels ownership in my business, she's going to take initiative to want to do things the right way. And I also give incentives too. So if she's doing something that, maybe she went above and beyond and it made me more money from that client, then I'm going to compensate her for that. So if I'm making more money because of something she did, then I'm going to give her a bonus or more money. And the same with, anyone else in my business, because you got to make your employees feel, well, with us, it's not employees, technically, not for everyone, but the people that work for you, your contractors or whatever they are, make them feel loved too and appreciated. And, because I know I get in this mode and I'm like, work, 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 work. And I have to sometimes just stop and say, hey, have I told you lately that I really appreciate all that you do?
I think you need to send them that song. Have I told you lately? Remember that song? I don't even know who sings.
I have a client that does that to me. You know her, but I'm not going to say people's names. But every once in a while, I'll just get a random Skype, and I love random stuff. I'll just get a random Skype from her that says, "Hey, have I told you lately that I love you?" And I'm like, that is the sweetest thing. And usually it's right when I need it, too, because it's like one of those crazy weeks that everything is just going crazy. And just to get that nice little, "Hey, have I told you that I love you lately?" That's better than money for me right there. That's like, at least somebody appreciates that I'm killing myself every year.
That's so true. Hey, but you have a question on the board.
Okay, great.
It's Michael Daniels.
Uh-huh.
He wants to
know how many different backdrops do I own?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Michael, for your information, I have 4 colors on 2 panels. So I have white and black, which is all on this one panel. And I don't know if you saw, Michael, but these like scrunch up, see? And so I have black and white on this one. I can flip it. And then the next one is blue and then green on the back of it. So I have 4 colors that I can use, and that's why I bought it, because it's only 2. It doesn't take up that much room, and I can flip them for all the different colors that I need, because I know there's incidences where you use blue for a background, white helps you kind of pop, and then the black will, I don't want to put black because I have black on. So I figured since I have black on, I put the white background. So yeah, I have 4 colors. Rod Stewart, have I told you lately that I love you?
Yeah, that's it. Different.
Yeah, that's good.
To find it.
And I've had clients like send me care packages. I had a client send me like a soothing, stress relieving meditation CD. I had a client a while back send me this book that had all these quotes about being that say thank you in it, and a card that said thank you for all that you do, and having you on my team has really grown my business, and it was just really nice to be appreciated. So you got to do that, and do that for your clients. I don't do that like I should. I mean, I tell my clients how much I appreciate them, but I really should send out gifts and things like that. But find out what their love language is. The gifts might not be their love language. Doing things for me is mine.
I wanted to try to play this, but there's an ad.
I don't think you can. We're going to be shut down. It's probably a copyright thing. You can't play somebody else.
No, it's a YouTube video.
Oh, okay.
I have to hear if this is the one. This is Kenny Rogers, but I don't know if this is the one I want either. This is not it.
Look, Michael likes to have waiters and waitresses have a little fun.
I want to know this old, guys, if you can remember, it's not Van Morrison, it's an old, like something you hear on Lawrence Welk or something. Or maybe it's, what's his name? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm going to have to find
out. With the waiters and waitresses, I love it when they come over and they're happy and all of that. And I like the Starbucks. I'm telling you guys, you have to come to my Starbucks.
Maybe it's just your Starbucks.
I'll have to be man on the street at my Starbucks. But at the Starbucks, I can even go to the drive-thru, and these people are like, I went through one night, and the guy was like, "Welcome to Starbucks. How can I help you?" And I said, "I need to be just as caffeinated as you are." And he said, "Well, I can help you with that." So it's just like, even when I wasn't in there, these people are just like the nicest people. And I keep going there. That Starbucks gets my business all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything about Starbucks one way or the other. I just always find that some of the places I go to, and you know, people rave about the Apple Store.
Right.
And the Apple stores in my region are, I want to say, like snobby.
Yeah, the Apple Store here, my local Apple Store, I feel that way too. And I don't feel like, I've heard that some are like really helpful, and all that kind of stuff. But when I go to our local Apple store, and we only have one that's like within a reasonable distance, and I don't find that either. I find it more stuffy, and I don't go there unless I have to. I love Apple products.
Aw. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm like, and then one guy, I'm like, I want the most amount of RAM I could get. He's like, you don't need that much RAM. I'm like,
what do you don't know my life? I love that movie.
How much RAM I need.
That's right. Hey, dude, you don't know my life. I might need that much RAM.
I know I need that much RAM because I have 16 gigs, and at any time I teeter around to having like 4 or 5 left.
Right, exactly. You know what you need. Right, you don't need somebody else telling you this or telling you that. I know when I went to Best Buy the other day, last week, to get my pretty little microphone, I stood there for a good 15 minutes. There were 3 associates all around me, and when I would ask for help, they would pawn me off on someone else. And then that person would pawn me off on someone else. And finally, I was going to buy like a wireless headset. I didn't buy one. And I was ready to spend some money, dudes. And because they gave me the runaround, I'm like, I'll just go online because I'm not going to be tossed around to a bunch of different people. And they probably don't even know what they're talking about anyway. I'll just do my own research and I'll order one online because you don't do that to people. You can't do that to people. So I didn't feel loved at all. I felt like I was inconveniencing them, and they just wanted to put me off on the next person so they didn't have to deal with me.
So that's a great question to ask folks who are watching this. What is it that makes you feel loved in any area of your life?
Yeah, what's your love language? Tell us. I want to know so we can make you guys feel all loved and warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, what's your love
language?
You know, and what is it that you're, let's see, whether it's a favorite store or favorite supplier, person you work with, team member.
Yeah, who makes you feel loved that you work with?
I love that, right? So that's that. So, you know, we're coming up on the 45 here, sweetie pie. Should we let people?
I know, and you know what I'm doing today? I'm so excited because I feel like a model or something.
Yeah, what are you doing? Because you're looking awful beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you, Miss Thing. So I like compliments, too. My assistant is coming over because she lives, like, really close to me. So my assistant is coming over, and we're going to use my backdrops and a few props. And she's an amateur photographer, so she's going to do some pictures for me.
Headshots! Yay!
Yeah, because I need new headshots and new pictures for my website and for some programs I'm getting ready to do. And so she's going to come over, so I get to have a little mini photo shoot. So I can't wait. Huh?
Are you going to play music?
I might. And maybe even get a fan going.
Yeah, right? Do it. Hey, I'll tell you what. I had a friend of mine who actually works at the Apple store, but she's actually a photographer, and she did amazing, amazing stuff. And she did the whole shoot in this room right here that you see behind me.
Right.
And she got, like, the curtains, and we did a black one and a white one, and I think I did some shots. I don't use them all, but probably the one you guys see on my website, that was a shot that she did.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, absolutely better living through Photoshop. Because one of the things that I can really say about having pictures taken is when she did the Photoshop, what I like about what she did is that it looks like me, only a little bit better. And I think the secret was, you know, we've been talking about makeup and hair and whatever, but in Photoshop, what I think she did is she put like a twinkle in my eye in a certain place.
Uh-huh.
I think she messed around, you know, the lighting and all that stuff makes a difference, but I think she also actually messed around with inserting the, like, light reflection in your eye.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I definitely won't mind Photoshop when we're done because, the camera adds 5 pounds and 10 wrinkles. So,
5 pounds. We can erase the wrinkles. That's easy, but you can use another 5 pounds.
I
That's all.
know maybe if I had another 5 pounds, it might fill out some of the wrinkles. But no, I mean, really, it does. It seems like it magnifies that kind of stuff. So, yeah, but I don't want to look photoshopped. I want to look real. And I want to, just get rid of some that might make me look a little rigid or whatever and just soften the look up a little bit. And I'm thinking about, like, a picture that you did that I think is a brilliant idea is I may, like, hold a whiteboard.
Yes.
And then I can use that and place any kind of text I want on there and use that for marketing. So that's a great idea because I know you did one where you were like holding a chalkboard.
And I use it all the time. And
the other one where you're just holding your hands out.
Right.
You could put anything in there, like it could be your next book or whatever. So if you're gonna, that's kind of a thing. If you're gonna do some pictures and you're not doing it professionally with someone, remember to do some shots like that you can use later. Also, I'm gonna change outfits too. Yeah, holding your hands out.
Or maybe, what I wish I had done is maybe something like this, right? Like you're weighing something. Or it could be like
because you could put, hey, pros and cons or something like that.
Yeah. Here's a real practical tip is head over to the stock photo places and look and see the different props and things that people are using, or maybe check your blog or what you've used in the past, and you can use that as inspiration as to how you should do your pictures because,
that's great. Yeah, and also I'm going to change outfits, so I'll probably change outfits like 3 times. So that way I have different outfits so it doesn't look like all of the pictures were taken all at the same time, on the same day, in the same outfit. And I may want to use the different colored outfits in different places and for different programs and all of that and the different, things that I do. So I'm going to change outfits probably 3 times too and do a few in some different outfits. So I'm excited.
Spoof on glamour shots. I actually have a glamour shot that I did for my husband when on the first Valentine's Day that we were married.
I remember those, and I have one too. Those were the thing, like in the early 90s. That was the thing to go get glamour shot. Yeah, and I've got one. It's so cheesy looking.
It's very cheesy.
I know. And I've got like a boa on and all kinds of stuff.
They didn't want me to do like all this crazy stuff, like wear a hat and stuff. I would not do that. I did wear giant, things you would never see.
Right.
Me with the Gigunda earrings and a leopard spotted something jacket or something.
I have actually seen people now in 2014 have up a glamour shot picture for their professional business picture, and I'm thinking, no, you didn't. Please tell me no. That's so cheesy.
I have a confession to make, and I have used in the very, very beginning of the internet.
Oh, you used the glamour shot picture.
I used the glamour shot, and my issue with, and I actually had professional headshots, like, I wouldn't do what they did. You know what I mean? I had one where it was just me with a shirt. Well, you've seen it. It was in the room. Just me with, like, a yellow shirt on. And, but there was something about the way they took that picture, which was like a little pouty or something. So I had it as my LinkedIn profile because what was LinkedIn, like 2004?
Right.
So I had this shot, and I had guys like, I love your picture. And I'm like, oh, my God, I got to get rid of this.
So that was your business boob.
That was business booty right there.
That's hilarious. Well, we've got to wrap it up. I've got to get ready for my pictures. This has been a lot of fun. We love you guys, and we just want to let you know, if we haven't told you lately that we love you, we do. We love that you guys come, that you interact with us. We have so much fun.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to get us out of here.
Yeah, make sure you come back next week. We're going to have even a woman on the street.
I'll be woman on the street in San Francisco.
That will be so much fun. You guys will have to help me think of some stuff to get her to ask random people to. It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait.
I know. We'll have to sort of practice, I think, with the phone and all. I've never been mobile, so I'm a little scared.
I think you'll be fine. I've done it, and it holds up good.